This is the one more question asked in GATE 2021 of electrical. This is from network subjects and from AC network analysis topic. The question statement is, a signal generator having a source resistance of 50 ohm is set to generate a 1 kHz sine wave. Open circuit terminal voltage is 10 volt peak to peak. Connecting a capacitor across terminal reduces the voltage 8 volt peak to peak. The value of this capacitor is dash microfarad. So actually, let me summarize actually what all informations are given. Actually, instead of giving a circuit, the informations which are there to be in circuit, they have given in form of statements. So from the given statements, what kind of things we can derive, or let's draw the corresponding circuits, because circuits always gives a very crystal clear picture. So from the question statement is clear, like there is a sinusoidal voltage generator. So if you see this statement, a signal generator having a source resistance 50 ohm is set to generate 1 kHz sine wave. So that means it is generating sine wave having frequency 1 kHz. And that to be, it is getting that open circuit voltage 10 volt. So one thing is very clear, the information which is given regarding the source, it is a, what is it? Sinusoidal voltage source. Sinusoidal voltage source. So sinusoidal I am saying because it is telling it is generating sine wave, and voltage source I am telling because the informations are given in terms of voltage, not in terms of currents. So it should be voltage source. What other thing we should speak about this? So this is a practical voltage source. How can you say practical voltage source? Because if you see, they are telling that the internal or the source resistance is 50 ohm. So in the ideal case, the source resistance is 0. So if the source resistance is non-zero, then definitely this is a practical voltage source. And one more information. So what is the meaning of peak to peak? Suppose somebody is saying, I have a sinusoidal signal and its peak to peak amplitude is, let's say, 10 volt kind of things. Now what does this mean? So the positive peak amplitude is 5 volts, negative peak amplitude is minus 5 volts, then this peak to peak is 10 volts. And how to write the expression of these waveforms? You can write this is like 5 cos or sine up to u omega t plus phi, where this omega is 2 pi f. So this is the general expression of this kind of sinusoidal signals. So if I ask you to draw the corresponding circuits, then how does the circuit look like? So the circuit look like this. So this is a sinusoidal source and it is having internal resistance how much? 50 ohms. So this is RS, and it is telling that in this case the open circuit voltage, that is this one, let's say VOC. So this is 10 volt peak to peak. So if it is 10 volt peak to peak, it means the expression of this would be something like 5 cos of sine up to u cos omega t plus this is phi. 5 cos omega t plus this is phi. Isn't it? How can I say this? Because only if this is 5 cos of sine, then only peak to peak voltage is 10. And what is the omega value? If f is 1 kilohertz, then omega equals to 2 pi into f, 2 pi into 1 into 10 power 3, right? So this is what is your omega values. And one thing, because this is not a closed path, it's an open path, and because in open path there won't be any current flowing through this, and if there is no current, there won't be any drop across this. So naturally, if I say this is the open circuit voltage, it means the source voltage is also the open circuit voltage. So this source voltage will be 5 cos omega t plus phi. So this much of informations we can collect up to this. From these 3 statements, we can conclude like we have a sinusoidal source and its internal resistance is 50 ohm, and the corresponding input voltage is as it is appearing on the outputs. Next statement, what they are telling, by connecting a capacitor, then the peak to peak voltage, it is reducing to 8 volts. So now the peak to peak voltage in this case, V peak to peak is how much? This is 10 volts. If this is 5, this will be 10. Now they are telling that by connecting a capacitor here, so this is reducing from 10 to 8. Then what is the value of capacitor? That's what the question is. So basically, the modified circuit, what you want to refer in this case is, it will be something like this. So this is the source, this is the value of RS, which is 50 ohms, and then it is saying that we have to connect a capacitor C such that the peak to peak voltage, it will be now how much? 8 volts. So V peak to peak, so this is 8 volts. If this is 8 volts, so if I say the voltage corresponding is V0, then what should be its expression like this? I mean in time domain, what will be the expressions? It would be something like 4 cos of omega t plus some constant, let's say it is phi x, the phase is phi x. Because if the positive peak is 4, negative peak is -4, then only peak to peak will be 8. Okay, so very simple. So instead of giving this, in form of circuit, they have given in the statements. So from these statements, we have derived this circuit. So this is what is given, and now they are telling if you are connecting capacitors, so 10 volt becomes 8 volts. Then what is the value of this C? So that is what we are supposed to find. So if you see these questions, basically the focus is on amplitudes. Phase is no way it is related as far as this question is concerned, so we can excuse the phase. So our discussion should be only with respect to amplitudes. Okay, and what is this? So this is same 5 cos omega t plus phi. See, omega, it will be always same. In the circuits, the source frequency will be always same as any response frequency. Wherever you find voltage current, whatever you find, all voltage currents, the frequency of the sinusoidal voltage currents will be always equal to the source frequency. So omega I am putting it is fixed. And why I am putting this is phi x? Because so depending on the circuits, so in AC circuits frequency remains same, and amplitude and phase they may vary depending on the circuit components and interconnections. So amplitude is anyway changing, phi is becoming 4, frequency will be same, and phi becomes phi x. Okay, because anyway this is no way concerned as far as this question solution is concerned. Okay, so if I ask you to write the expression of V naught, so V naught is equals to 1 by j omega c divided by Rs plus 1 by j omega c multiplied by source voltage Vs. So this is what is the source voltage Vs of t. Okay, in phasor domain, if I ask you to write the notation in the phasor domain, how it will look like is, it will be looking something like this. So Vs, if I take cos as a reference, so this will be your 5 angle phi, and a resistor, it is same resistor only, so this is 50 ohms, and a capacitor, so this will be 1 by j omega c. Okay, so this is the notation of Vs, and here this is the notation of V naught. So V naught is equals to, by voltage division rule, this impedance divided by sum of this and this impedance into the source voltage. So here we can write this as, this implies V naught is equals to, okay, if we take this j omega c down, so this becomes 1 plus j omega rs into c multiplied by Vs. So this will be 1 by 1 plus j omega. What is omega? Omega is 2 pi into f, 2 pi into 10 power 3. Rs is given 50 and c is unknown, we have to find it out, and the notation of Vs is 5 angle phi. 5 angle phi. And this should be equals to what? This should be equals to V naught. But what we are expecting? We are expecting V naught like this. So if you are expecting V naught, this is the time domain expressions. So the phasor domain expression of V naught will be, this is 4 angle phi x. This is 4 angle phi x. If I take the cos as a reference phasor, so this is becoming 5 angle phi. Similarly, this reference, if you take cos, so this is 4 angle phi x. So we are expecting V naught is equals to 4 angle phi x. As I said, phase is not of interest to us. Our interest is only regarding the amplitudes. So now if you take magnitude both side, what do you get? You get 4 is equals to, because if you have r angle theta, if you take mod of this, you get only r. So from here I am getting only 4. Similarly, if you take magnitude of this, you get this is 5, and if you take magnitude of this, so this becomes 1 plus 2 pi into 10 power 3 into 50 into c square. Am I correct? Okay, so this magnitude is equivalent to mod of this and mod of this. Okay, so this is the same thing. So mod of this is 5 and mod of this is, like if you have x plus iy, its magnitude is square root of x square plus y square. So square of 1 is 1 itself plus square of this quantity. So this is now, I think, a simple equations. So we have only one unknown variable c. We can use our common maths to get the corresponding answers. So now if you see this, if I bring this to this side and square it, what do you get? If you square this, square root will go. So this is 1 plus 2 pi into 10 power 3 into 50 into C. So this whole square is equals to 5 by 4 whole square. So this is 5 by 4 whole square. So I have just square both sides. If you square this square will go, and then we have square of 5 by 4. So from this, so you can see 2 pi into 10 power 3 into 50C whole square is equals to, this is 1.25 whole square minus of 1. So this implies C square happens to be 1.25 whole square minus of 1 divided by 2 pi into 10 power 3 into 50 whole square. Is that correct? So if I'm bringing this C this side, so it is C square itself, and if I'm taking the rest of the things because of the square term, so this is square of 2 pi into 10 power 3 into 50 whole square. And what is C then? And if you try to find what is C, then C will be square root of this quantity. Take a calci and simplify this, so this becomes 2.38 microfarad. So this answer will be 2.38 microfarad. This is the right answer. Okay. Actually, some of the calculation you can skip in between. So step by step I am showing, that's why I am taking around 9-10 minutes of time. But if you solve this in proper flow, so this question will be hardly 3 to 4 minutes, not beyond that. So I was explaining you the concepts, from scratch, and then I solve step by steps. However, if you have good practice, so I think a good student who have good grip on the subject, directly you can write these equations. Even this is not needed. Directly somebody can write these equations. Okay, if you are good in basics. So, by observing the questions, if you are able to write this equation directly, then simplifying this will be hardly 1 minute job. So the answer is 2.38 microfarad for this. This is one more question asked in GATE 2021 of electrical. This is from network subjects and from fundamental of electric circuit. The given question is, in the given circuit, for voltage Vy to be 0, the value of beta should be rounded up to 2 decimal places is dash. Okay, so it is given that Vy will be 0, then what is the value of beta? So it is given that if Vy equals to 0, then what's the value of beta? So we can take one point is ground, and we know this Vy, so this voltage is 0 volts. This is 0 volts. So now, let us write the nodal equations. So if you write the nodal equations, so at this node if I write, so Vx minus 6 by 1 plus Vx minus 0 by 2 plus Vx by 4 is equals to 0. So to this particular node there are 3 branch connectors, these and this. So this will be Vx minus 6 by 1, Vx minus 0 by 4, this is, sorry. Vx minus 0 by 2, and this is Vx minus 0 by 4, equals to 0. So from this we can easily get the value of Vx, isn't it? So what is it? So if you see Vx minus 6 plus Vx by 2 plus Vx by 4 equals to 0. So let us multiply 4 both sides. 4Vx minus 24 plus 2Vx plus Vx is equals to 0. So 7Vx is equals to 24. So the value of Vx, what I am getting is 24 by 7. Then the next equations, let us write at this node. So if you write this node, 0 minus Vx divided by 2 minus 2 plus 0 minus beta Vx divided by 3 equals to 0. 0 minus Vx by 2 minus 2 plus 0 minus beta Vx by 3 is equals to 0. So now if you see, so let us substitute the value of Vx. So it is minus 24 by 14 minus 2, and this is minus of beta into Vx by 3. So 24 divided by 21 equals to 0. So beta into 24 by 21 happens to be minus 24 by 14 minus 2. So what is beta? Beta is equals to 21 by 24. This is minus 24 by 14 minus 2. Take a calcium and solve it. The answer what is coming is minus 3.25. Minus 3.25. So it's again very straightforward questions. So there are 2 nodes, out of 1 node voltage is given 0, and we need to find the value of this controlling variable beta. So by writing the nodal equation here we got it, and then by writing nodal equation here we have only one unknown, that is beta, because Vx we have already obtained. So from this I got Vx, and from this the entire equation is in terms of beta Vx. I have substituted the value of Vx here, and then by solving for beta we are getting it is minus 3.25, and that's the right answer for this question. This is a 2-mark question asked in GATE 2021 of electrical. This is from network subjects and from AC network analysis topic. The given question is, in the given circuit the maximum power to be delivered to RL, its value should be dash ohms. So this is a simple circuit given. We are supposed to find the value of RL such that maximum power should be delivered to RL. So this is a very popular model questions. Okay, so what we should know is, suppose you have a circuit, okay, and let's say this is your VTH and this is your ZTH, and across this if you are connecting a purely resistive load RL, okay, so for maximum power transfer the value of RL happens to be magnitude of ZTH. Actually there are various cases, like if you have purely resistive load, resistive and reactive load combinations, and again in that combination which is variable, which is constant, there are various cases. But as far as this case is concerned, if you have a purely resistive load, obviously maximum power transfer, this is variable one. Even if it is not given, it is understood it should be variable, because we are tuning the value of RL at a particular value of stopping. At this value of RL, maximum power transfer is happening, and that value of RL is always given by magnitude of ZTH. So basically indirectly we are supposed to find the magnitude of ZTH in this case. So this is the load terminal. So from here we have to find what is the value of ZTH. Now to find the value of ZTH, it's an independent source network. So independent source value should be made 0. So a voltage source of 0 volt, it behaves like short circuits. So this voltage source is replaced by short circuits, and this is 2 ohms, and how much will be this? So this is your 2 ohms, and this is 1 by j omega c. 1 by j into omega is 1 kilo, that is 10 power 3. C is 0.5 into 10 power minus 3. So 10 power 3 minus 3, it is 1. J becomes minus j, and 1 by 0.5 is 2. So this is becoming minus of j2. And this is j omega L. So what is j omega L? J into omega is 10 power 3. Into L, if you see, it is 4 millihenry, 4 into 10 power minus 3. So this is 1. So this is happening to be J4. Okay. So this is what we are supposed to find, ZTH. Is that okay? So I am just making the voltage through short circuits, and as usual the load should be open circuited, and from the open circuit load terminal we are interested to find ZTH. So ZTH happens to be 2 parallel with, so if you see ZTH from here, so there are 2 paths. One is this path and one is this path. So that is 2 parallel with series combination of J4 and minus of J2. So this is 2 into J2 divided by 2 plus J2. So this is happening to be J4, and this is square root of 2 square plus 2 square, and the phase angle is tan inverse of 2 by 2. So this is happening to be J4, and how much is this? This is 8. So this is 2 root 2, and this is, and at the angle of tan inverse of 1 is 45 degrees. So you can see, so this is 2, and basically this is root 2, and this is 90 minus 45 is 45 degree. So the value of ZTH, what you are getting is root 2 angle 45 degree. But what we need is, for our maximum power transfer, we need magnitude of ZTH. So magnitude of root 2 angle 45 is nothing but root 2 ohms. So root 2 ohms is the right answer. So root 2 is 1.414, isn't it? So because root 2 is 1.414, so that should be the right one answer. 1.414 ohms. This is the right answers. Very, very simple problem. So if they would have asked for what is the maximum power transferred, then in that case we have to find the VTH and the corresponding current of the load, and the load current square into RL. That would have been the final answers. But in this case power we are not interested, we are interested for the value of RL. So the answer is root 2, which is 1.414. This is a 2-mark question asked in GATE 2021 of electrical. This is from network subjects and from coupling circuit topic, you can say. The given question is the input impedance Z in S for the network zone is, some options they have given. So this is the network they have given. So there are multiple ways to answer these questions, but I think in theory you must have learned this topic. So like for a ideal transformer, if I say the inductance is L1 and the mutual inductance when this is M and they are in this dots are like this in additive way, then this circuits, okay, this circuits or this coupled circuit is equivalent to a T network, something like this. This is L1 minus M and this is also L1 minus M and this is your M, right? So if I say this is A, this is B, this is C and this is D, so this is your A, this is your B, this is your C and this is your D. So in this case, so you can see L1 is given 6, L2 is given 4, M is given 1. So L1 minus M, 6 minus 1, this will be 5 Henry. M is 1, so this will be 1 Henry, and this is L1 minus M, this is again, this is L2 minus M. Sorry, this is L1 and this is L2, sorry. So this will be L2 minus M. So L2 is 4, 4 minus 1, so that will be your 3 Henry, right? So if this is L1, L2, this is M, so this is L1 minus M, this is L2 minus M, and this is M. So L1 is 6, 6 minus 1 is 5, L2 is 4, 4 minus 1 is 3, and this is 1 Henry. So if you see the impedance we have to obtain in the S domain form, right? So if we convert this network into S domain format, how does this look like? So resistance R 4 ohm is again, this is 4 ohms, but now this segment I am replacing it by this T networks. So if I replace it by these T networks, so there are 3 inductors basically like this, and finally we have this 5 ohm resistor connected here. So this is your 5 ohm resistors. So this is your AB and this is your CD. So this is your EF, you can say. So this is your EF, this is your AB, and this is your CD. So this is CD, this is AB, and this is your EF. So we are supposed to find this Zin of S. So very simple. So 5 Henry is 5S, 1 Henry is simply S, C is 3 Henry is 3S. So you can see Zin of S is 4 plus 5S, I mean series combination of this, plus this is in series with, okay, parallel combination of this and this. So that is your S parallel with 3S plus 5. So you have to simplify it. So this is 4 plus 5S, this is 3S square plus 5S divided by sum of them. So that is 4S plus 5. Right, so this is these two in series with the entire thing. So 4 plus 5S plus S parallel with 3S plus 5. So 4 plus 5S, product of this 3S square plus 5S plus sum of this, that is 4S plus 5. So this is 4 plus 5S multiplied by 4S plus 5 plus this is 3S square plus 5S divided by 4S plus 5. If you simplify this, 4 into 4S is 16S, 4 into 5 is 20, 5S into 4S is 20S square, plus 5S into 5 is 25S, plus 3S square plus 5S divided by 4S plus 5. If we separate the coefficient of S square, 20S square plus 3S square is 23S square. If we separate the S, 16 plus 5, 21 plus 25 is 46. So plus 46S, and the constant term what we have is 20 and divided by 4S plus 5. Right? So this is the final answer which is given in one of the options. 23S square plus 46S plus 20 plus 4S plus 5. The only part was to replace that transformer by this T model network. This is one more question asked in GATE 2021 of electrical. This is from network subjects and from Thevenin theorem topic. The given question is, for the network zone, the equivalent Thevenin voltage and Thevenin impedance are seen from terminal ABEs. So some options are given. Basically we are supposed to find the value of VTH and RTH. Okay, to compute VTH, so what is VTH actually? The output voltage from the open circuited terminal is VTH. So this voltage is VTH itself. One thing we can see, because this path is open circuits, so current in this branch is 0 amperes, because you know very well current cannot flow in open path. So in the entire path the current is 0 because it is open circuits. If this current is 0, this is 5 ampere, naturally I1 is equals to 5 ampere, because 5 ampere is coming, 0 is going, so this branch current is 5 amperes, isn't it? So you got the value of I1. Now if you write the KVL in this particular outer mesh or loop, what do you get? By the way, what is the voltage of this 2 ohm? I into R, because current is 0, 0 into 2, so this voltage is 0 volts. So if you write the KVL in this loop, how much will you get? VTH minus, plus 0 volts, VTH plus 0 volts minus 3I1 minus 10I1 is equals to 0. VTH plus 0 minus 3I1 minus resistance is 10, current is I1, 10I1 equals to 0. So VTH is equals to 3 plus 10, 13I1. But what is the value of I1? I1 is 5 we got. So this is 13 into 5. So we are getting this is 65 volts. So the value of VTH, what you are getting is 65 volts. Now the next thing is to compute the value of RTH. So to compute the value of RTH, this circuit contains both independent and dependent source. So we can find the Norton current IN, then VTH by IN is the RTH. That is one of the approach. Otherwise what you can do is, so we'll be making all the independent source value 0 and dependent source will not disturb, and we'll connect a voltage source, namely test voltage VT, and the current, let's say it is IT from the test voltage source, then the ratio of VT to IT will give us the corresponding RTH value. So this is your 2 ohms. So this is your 3I1 and this is your 10 ohms. As I said, independent sources should be made 0. So the independent current source value, if you make it 0, a current source of 0 ampere behaves like open circuit. So the 5 ampere source is replaced by open circuits. I am not disturbing the dependent source. This is 10 ohm and this is 2 ohms. And finally I am connecting a test voltage source VT, and let's say its corresponding current is IT. And the current I1 is defined here, and we can see here, because this is the single series path, your I1 is nothing but equals to IT. So what will be my RTH? My RTH will be nothing but ratio of VT to IT. So now if you write the KVL, so here it is plus 2 minus, here also it is plus 2 minus. So this drop is current is IT into resistance is 2 IT, and this drop is current is IT, resistance is 10, so you get this is 10 IT. So if you write the KVL, VT minus 2 IT minus 3 I1 minus 10 IT is equals to 0. VT minus 2 IT minus 3 I1 minus 10 IT equal to 0. But we already know I1 is equals to IT. So in place of I1, I can write this is IT. So your VT is coming as how much? 10 plus 3 plus 2, 15 IT. So your VT to IT ratio, which is RTH, so this is coming as 15 ohms. This is coming at 15 ohm. So you got the value of VTH is 65 and we got the value of RTH is 15 ohm. So if you try to draw the Thevenin equivalent circuits, so we have VTH is in series with RTH. This is the Thevenin equivalent circuits. So VTH is 65 volts, RTH is 15 ohms. So the Thevenin model will comprise of a 65 volt voltage source is in series with a resistance of 15 ohms. So that is what is given one of the options, and that's the right answers. So because I am explaining all the intermediate steps, I have taken around 5 minutes of time to explain this, but if you solve in a proper flow, so this question should not take much more than 1 minute of time. So the answer is 65 volts and 15 ohms. This is a 2-mark question asked in GATE 2021 of electrical. This is from network subjects and from 3-phase network topic. The given question is, a 3-phase balance voltage is applied to the load zone. The phase sequence is R by B, then the ratio of magnitude of IB to IR is dash. So this is a simple circuit given, okay, and it is said like it is connected to a 3-phase balance voltage. So it is connected to a 3-phase balance voltage. Now what is the meaning of this balanced here? Balance means that in that 3-phase source which is connected to this load, so all the 3-phase voltages have identical magnitudes. Okay, they have identical magnitudes and they have identical frequency. They are varying only with respect to their phases. Okay, they are varying only with respect to their phases. So if I say the phase voltage VR is, so V angle 0, okay, then it means the next one Vy, so this will be V angle minus 120. Then VB, so this will be V angle minus 240, or you can also write this as V angle plus 120 degrees. This is what the meaning of balanced. So their amplitudes are same, and if you are writing the time domain functions, even their frequency will be same. Only they are like apart from each other by a phase difference of 120. So you can take reference 0 the way I have taken, or if you say if you take this is 50, then this will be 50 minus 120, and this will be 50 minus 240, or 50 plus 120, whatever you say. Anyway, so this is what the meaning of three-phase balanced source. And you can see here, if I ask you what is my IR, so IR happens to be, so this is VR by minus of J10, isn't it? IR, if you see, this is VR by minus of J10. So what is VR? VR is V angle 0, and this is minus J10 can be written as 10 angle minus of 90, which is V by 10, and this is plus 90 degrees. So this is what is nothing but your IR. Similarly, if I ask you what is your IY, that is this one. So this happens to be Vy divided by this impedance, which is plus J10. So this is Vy is V angle minus 120 divided by J10 can be written as 10 angle plus 90 degrees. Am I correct? 10 angle 90 degrees. So this is V by 10 is the magnitudes, and the phase happens to be minus 120 and minus 90. So that becomes minus of 210 degrees. So this is IR, IY. But we don't have any impedance connected here. So if you try to find IB, then it will not give you any meaningful answers, because you cannot do something by 0. But you know one relations, that is in a balanced case, IR plus IY plus IB, that happens to be 0. So that happens to be 0. So because this relation is true, we already know what is IR, what is IY, we can easily get IB. So what is your IB? IB is negative of IR plus IY. So basically what you have to find in this case, so the question is, we are supposed to find the ratio of magnitude of IB to magnitude of IR. This is what you have to find. So IR is okay. So IR is coming this much. But if I ask you if this is what the IR, that is including magnitude and phase. So if I ask you what is magnitude of IR, so this happens to be V by 10, right? So because magnitude means we are not into phase, magnitude is V by 10. So by simplifying this, we have to get what is IB, and we have to take magnitudes. So then we have to dividing here. So this is equivalent to minus of IR plus IY. What is IR? IR is V by 10 angle 90 degrees plus what is IY? V by 10 angle minus of 210 degrees. So this what is the IB expressions. So simplify this. So this is happening to be minus V by 10 angle 90 degree. Minus V by 10 angle 90 degrees. Or you can say this is V by 10, this is 90, and this is minus of 180 degrees. Because a negative sign introduces a phase shift of plus or minus 180 degrees. So I'm writing it like this. Okay. So this is your IB. So basically the conclusion is IR is V by 10 angle 90 degrees. So this implies magnitude of IR is happening to be V by 10, and your IY, we got this is V by 10 angle minus 210 degrees. So its magnitude IY is coming again V by 10, and IB, while using these relations we got it. So we are getting this is V by 10, 90 minus 180 is minus 90 degrees. But again if you take its magnitude, so this is also happening to be V by 10. So because magnitude of all the three currents IR, IY, IB are same, then definitely their ratio will be 1. So magnitude of IB is V by 10, magnitude of IR, okay, is again V by 10. So they are cancelled, and as expected. So their answer is coming to be 1. Okay. So it's a numerical answer type questions, and answer is definitely coming to be 1 only. Okay. Again, some of the calculations, if you are good in basics, you may skip. In case not, then this is the step-by-step approach to solve this particular problem. Answer is 1 for this. This is a 2 mark question asked in GATE 2021 of electrical. This is from network subjects and from transient topic. The given question is, in the circuit which S is closed for a very long time, if the switch is open at t equal to 0, then IL t in ampere for t greater than equal to 0 is which of the options? So for some 4 options they have started, we have to find the value of the inductor current IL of t for t greater than equal to 0. So this is a very common and method oriented problems, right? You can see the feature of this network is, this is a first order network, first order networks, and the input, that is the step signal, or you can say DC signal. Okay, so DC, if you do switching, that becomes step signal, we can say. And in such kind of cases, if you are interested to find the inductor currents, we have the well-known formula. IL of t is given by IL of infinity plus IL of 0 minus IL of infinity into e raised to power minus t by tau. This is valid for t greater than 0. Actually, they are selling t greater than equal to 0, but it should be, strictly speaking, t greater than 0, because that switching instant t equal to 0 is already, always we used to exclude it, because what is the state of the network, that case we don't know. But anyway, so that's not the point of discussion as far as this question is concerned. Okay, so this is what is the informations we have. Now, so we have 3 unknown parameters. That is, what is IL of infinity, what is IL of 0 minus, and what is time constant tau. And let's find it one by one, and then we can substitute in this formula, and that will be our final answers. Okay. So first, I am starting with IL of 0 minus. First, I am starting with IL of 0 minus. So IL of 0 minus, the network is at t equal to 0 minus. That is, at t equal to 0 minus, the value of inductor current is what I mean by IL of 0 minus. Okay. Now this time, what is the situation of the switch? The switch is getting opened at t equal to 0. So before that, the switch is closed. The switch is in closed positions. Alright. And what is the situation of inductor? L. So L is short circuited, because the network in this case, this is in steady state. So at 0 minus and infinity, the network always used to be in steady state if the excitation is DC or step. So taking this fact, if I redraw the network, then how does this network look like? So this will be something like this. So this is your 10 volts, and this is your 4 ohms, and this is your 30 volts, and the switch is closed. So I am drawing like this, and then you have this 1 ohm, and then you have this inductor is sorted, and this is the scenario, and this is the currents I mean by IL of 0 minus. Right? And if I ask you what is this IL of 0 minus, then naturally IL of 0 minus is equals to 10 ampere itself. How can I say 10 amperes? Because if this node voltage is 10 volts, then if you take this point is ground, then this node voltage will be 10 volts. Why? Because this is a sorted path. Okay, so this node voltage or this node is equal to this node. So whatever the node voltage you have here, the same node voltage appearing here also. So this is 10 volts. If this node voltage is 10 volts, then the current is 10 by 1. In other words, if this is 10 volts, so this branch voltage also 10 volts. So if the branch voltage 10 volt, by Ohm's law, I equals to V by R. So 10 by 1 becomes 10 amperes. So you got IL of 0 minus is equals to 10 amperes. Alright. Now next thing we have to find is about IL of infinity. So if we want to find IL of infinity, so I have to refer the network which is valid at t equals to infinity. So what is the situation of this switch? So if you see the circuits, switch is getting opened at t equal to 0. That means at t equals to infinity, the switch is open state. So at 0 minus it was closed, now this is open state. Network is in steady state, inductor will be again short circuited, right? So this is the scenario. Now if I try to redraw the networks considering these facts, what it will be? So this is your 10. So this is 4 ohm. This is 30 volts. This is the switch is open. And then you have this is 1 ohms and the inductor is sorted. So this is the ground. So this is 1 ohms. Okay. And this particular current is what I mean by IL of infinity. So you can see, so this is the network. So I have just open circuited this switch and the inductor is sorted. So this is the corresponding circuits. So if I ask you what is IL of infinity in this case, so your IL of infinity in this case will be, you can see this is a simple series network, right? So it's a simple series network. So it is 10 plus 30. The way the polarity of voltage source are, it should be plus 10 plus 30 divided by the net resistance is 4 plus 1. So 4 plus 1. So 40 by 5. So this is happening to be 8 amperes. So we got IL of infinity is equals to 8. And now the next thing we have to find is what is the time constant tau. What is the time constant tau? So tau happens to be, it is actually L by RTH. So what is your L? So L is given in the circuits, which is 0.5. Now I have to find what is the value of RTH. Now to find the value of RTH, what all things I have to do? So the network that I should refer is which is valid for t greater than 0. After switching, which is the network, we should refer that network to evaluate RTH. Next thing is, because this is a independent source network, so make the voltage source short circuit. If there could have been current source, I should have them replace them by open circuit, because voltage source means you have to make their value 0. It should be short circuits, and then open circuit the inductor and find RTH. So these are the common steps. So if I do that, so this is a 10 volt source. So 10 volt source is sorted here, and then so this is the 4 ohms, and again this is a voltage source of 30 volts. So that is also sorted. And as I said, the network has to be referred which is valid for t greater than 0. So you can see for at t equal to 0, the switch is getting open. So if I ask you for t greater than 0, what is the status of switch? Definitely this is in the open state, because at 0 it is opening, means for beyond that it is definitely in open state. So this is the situation of the switch. And then you have, this is 1 ohm, and then this is your 0.5 Henry. This is the case. Okay, but as I said, open circuit the inductor, because you have to assume this is the load, and find RTH from this particular terminal. So this is the value of RTH you have to find from here. So very clearly this is simple series networks having resistance 1 and 4 in series. So RTH happens to be 5. If RTH is 5 and this is L is 0.5, RTH is 5. So we can write this as 1 by, what is this? 0.5 is 1 by 2. So this is coming to be 1 by 10. So if time constant is 1 by 10, so this becomes 1 by tau. So 1 by 10 is 10. So this is minus 10t. So this is valid for t greater than 0. If you simplify this, so this is happening to be how much? This is happening to be 8 plus 2 into e raised to power minus 10t, valid for t greater than 0. So this is the corresponding desired expression of this inductor currents. So again I am explaining this step by steps. I am writing the methods and all. So again I am taking 7-8 minutes of time. But if you solve this problem in a proper flow, so this question is hardly not even 1 minute job. Because by observation itself, directly you can tell what is IL0 minus, what is IL infinity, and what is RTH. Because the network is not complicated, so you don't have to write so much of equations. Okay, once you get all these parameters directly by mental calculations, then finding the answer is not at all time consuming. So this is what given one of the options, 8 plus 2 into raised to minus 10t, and thus the right answer for this question. This is a 2-mark question asked in GATE 2021 of electrical. This is from network subjects and from basics of AC circuits. The given question is, the waveform shown in solid line is obtained by clipping a full wave rectified sinusoid shown dashed. The ratio of RMS value of full wave rectified waveform to RMS value of the clipped waveform is dashed. So basically, so this is the waveform given in the question. So let me summarize what is actually being given question and what we are supposed to find. So they are speaking regarding two waveforms. One of the waveform is a perfectly full wave rectified waveform like this, having period pi. This axis is omega t and this peak amplitude is Vm. And one more waveform is derived by clipping this full wave rectified waveform. like this. So this is called V1 of t. Let's say I am calling this is V2 of t. This is given pi by 4, this is 0, this is 3 pi by 4 and this is pi. This axis is your omega t. And this amplitude is given Vm by root 2 or which is 0.707 Vm. Okay, this is given. So what we are supposed to find is, we are supposed to find the RMS value of V1 and the RMS value of V2. So we have to then take the ratio V1 of RMS to V2 of RMS. So I believe all of you know that V1 of RMS, so this is 0.707 into Vm. For a full wave rectified waveform, the RMS value is always root 2 times 1 by root 2 times of the peak amplitude. So this is a very standard result. So like there is no point to derive this. I believe all of you know. For half wave rectified is Vm by 2. Full wave rectified it is Vm by root 2. Even for perfect transient it is Vm by root 2. But this is not a very standard waveform, so we have to find it out what it will be. If you see this waveform carefully, I can say V2 of t is equals to Vm sin omega t in the range of 0 to pi by 4, right? I mean, if I'm making it is 3 segments, segment 1, segment 2 and segment 3. Segment 1 is 0 to pi by 4, the variation is sine, and between pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4 it is Vm by root 2. Pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4 it is Vm by root 2, and again between 3 pi by 4 to pi, so that is again Vm sin omega t. Okay, so this is what is the one cycle of this V2t, and my interest is to get the RMS value of the second waveform. So this V2 of RMS is given by 1 by t naught. If I square it 0 to t naught, then this is V2 square t and this is dt. So this happens to be 1 by t naught. So t naught is nothing but the period 1 by pi, and if you see this, so this is 0 to, so because we have separate representations over one period, so instead of taking directly 0 to pi, I am breaking this into 3 parts: 0 to pi by 4, pi by 4 3 pi by, and 3 by 4 to pi. So 0 to pi by 4, if I take 0 to pi by 4, so how much you will get? You get this is Vm sine of omega t whole square. For simplicity you can take omega t as x also, no problem. Okay, so this is, if I take omega t equal to x, or you can continue with what, omega t no issues, because some people get confused while putting limits and all. So you may proceed like this for your own simplicity. Plus, if I observe between pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4, so this is how much? Vm by root 2 whole square and dx plus 3 pi by 4 to pi, this is again Vm sin x whole square and this is dx. Okay, but the point is, I believe you all agree that if I ask you to find the area of segment 1 and segment 3, these segments, the area will be identical because the limit is same and the variation is same, they will be identical. So the answer of this and answer of this will be same. So we can skip one integrations and we can multiply 2 here. So I am multiplying here 2 and I am skipping this because we know that area, this area is same, so we can continue this by multiplying 2 with this. And if you see this carefully, this Vm is common factors, so I can take this Vm square, because if you square it will be common, so it is Vm square by pi. And then, okay, so if you see 2 into sine square x can be written as 1 minus cos 2x divided by 2 in the range of 0 to pi by 4 dx. Already I have taken that Vm square out, so I am left with 1 by 2. If I are left with 1 by 2, then integration of dx in the range of pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4. So this is, this Vm square by pi is whole multiplied, okay? Okay, fine. And these two and these two cancel out, then integration of dx is x. If you substitute the limit 0 to pi by 4, minus integration of cos 2x is sin 2x divided by 2. The limit is again 0 to pi by 4 plus half of, if you integrate this x, so x pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4. So now if you simplify this is Vm square divided by pi, and this is pi by 4 minus 0 is pi by 4 minus 1 by 2 into sine of 2 into pi by 4, sine pi by 2. Sine pi by 2 is 1 minus 0. So you will get it is only half. Plus this is half of 3 pi by 4 minus pi by 4, 2 pi by 4 into pi by 2. Right? So you get this is pi by 2. I hope this is clear. So pi by 4 minus 0 is pi by 4 minus of this is what? Half is out, then sine 2x minus 0. Sine 2 into pi by 4, that is sine 90 is 1, 1 minus 0, sine 0 is 0. So this is you get half, and from this you are getting half into pi by 2. So this is happening to be Vm square divided by pi, and this is pi by 4 plus pi by 4, that is 2 pi by 4 which is pi by 2. Pi by 2 minus of half. This is what V2 square RMS. And if I ask you what is V2 of RMS, so if you take square root of it, this Vm will be out, and then if you take it, you get this is square root of 1 by pi multiplied by pi by 2 minus half. Pi by 2 minus half. Or you can again simplify this. If you take this pi inside, so this happens to be Vm square. This pi will cancel, it is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 pi. Right? Or which is Vm square. If you take LCM, this is 2 pi, this is pi minus 1. So this is what is V2 square. And if you find what is V2 of RMS, simply you have to take the square root of it. So that happens to be Vm into square root of pi minus 1 divided by 2 pi. If you simplify this is happening to be 0.583 into Vm. So this is your V2 of RMS. You have V1 of RMS which is 0.707 Vm. Now you got V2 of RMS which is 0.583 Vm. If you take the ratio, so the ratio is happening to be 0.707 divided by 0.583. Take a calci, simplify this, the answer is supposed to be 1.21. So this is basically put the formula, get the answer model questions. Yes, the calculation involved, so we have patience for this, otherwise it's a simple problem. So the answer is 1.21 for this. This is one more question asked in GATE 2021 of electrical. This is from network subjects and from AC network analysis topic. The given question is, in this circuit, the value of capacitor C that makes current I equal to 0 is dash microfarad. So we are given with these circuits, and this is the current I. We need the I should be 0. If I is 0, what is the value of C? That's the questions. And they're asking in microfarad units. It's a numeric answer type questions. Actually, in GATE 2015 one in electronics, this model question has been asked. The circuit is also same, only data has been changed. So one thing is very clear. So we know like I is given by, in this circuit, V by Z. So what is Z? So Z is the total impedance in from here. This is Z. And let me do one thing. So this segment of the circuit, so let me call the impedance of this segment is ZX. So, okay. So basically what I can say is, so this is 10 plus J5. What is Z? So V by Z, Z is the total impedance. So that is given by 10 plus J5 plus ZX. Right? So I is equals to V by total impedance in from this port. So that is 10 plus J5 is in series with ZX. So this is what the thing is. Now you can see, so V is given, this is 10 volts. Okay, 10 angle, some angle theta, we don't mind. So we need I equal to 0. So if you need I equal to 0, so you can see there is only one possibility that this ZX should be infinite. Because this is finite quantity, this is finite quantity. If you are expecting this to be 0, ZX should be infinite. So what we need to do? We need to find the expression of ZX, and that should be equated to infinite. From there we will be getting the condition of what is the value of C. So what is ZX? So ZX, if you try to see, it is J5 is in parallel with J5 plus 1 by J omega C. Right? So this is one branch and this is in parallel. So it is like Z1, Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2, J5 plus J5 plus 1 by J omega C. So this is what the value of Z of X. And we need Zx should be infinity. That's what we said, right? If we need Zx should be infinity, naturally we need the denominator of this should be equals to 0, because something by 0 is infinity. So that means, so if you add this, so J10 plus 1 by J omega C is equals to 0. So J10 is equals to minus J by omega C, or if I say what is C, C is equals to minus J by J10 omega. Is there some plus minus mistake is happening? Yeah, J10 plus 1 by J omega C. So J10 is equals to, it will plus, right? Either minus, okay, this is plus. So this is also plus. So J cancels. So C is equals to 1 by 10 omega. What is omega? Omega is the source frequency, which is given 5 kiloradian per second. So this becomes 1 by 10 into 5 kilo. So 5 into 10 raised to power 3. This much of things. So if you simplify this, the answer is coming 20 into 10 power minus 6 farad, which is 20 microfarads, which is given as 20 microfarad. So that's the right answer for these questions. Very, very straightforward questions. Once again, I am summarizing. So we need the value of I equal to 0. So the net impedance in from here, it should be equals to how much? Infinite, because something by infinite is 0. So if we need the denominator to be infinite, this is finite, so this should be infinite. So then I have obtained the expression of Zx. And if I need Zx should be infinite, its denominator should be 0. So I have just taken the denominators and equated to 0, and then I solve for C. The value of C what I am getting is 20 microfarad. That's the right answer for these questions.